All right, boys, King and Diane are getting adjusted, which just means buffed, in a week. Okay, now global, I mean, it's global. Obviously, they get everything wrong. Thursday, May 28th. Hey, Thursday doesn't look like May 28th to me, by the way. Okay, it's fine. Up JP, you know, they say 29th. They understand. That's fine. Very weird. But regardless, they're getting buffed. The additional damage calculation method for the single target skill does not align with the original design intent. Okay, that's good because the single target didn't do any damage. We also have identified some unreasonable aspects regarding its overall usability. As a result, certain features of rules of the new era King and Diane are scheduled to be adjusted. Okay, so I actually didn't reread that part. So they're only adjusting the single target, or mainly adjusting the single target, and probably adjusting the way. Let me actually go on the character. They're probably adjusting the single target because it was pierce rate, and it was supposed to do additional damage based on your remaining HP. I didn't feel this because oftentimes the card would do like 150k, and it's like, I swear, just based on this alone, it should be doing more, right? But it wasn't. So maybe it was bugged. Now this doesn't fix their issue. Their, in my opinion, only real issue, which is going second. Because if you go first and you understand how to use the unit, you understand how to use the team, and you know what you're doing, they're broken. Okay, genuinely, I don't like. I know some people won't like to hear this, and I hate saying it because it sounds cringe, but it's a skill issue, genuinely. And a lot of Gringos players, unfortunately, you hand them a unit that isn't to double AoE wipe the field, they lose their mind. Right? They don't know what to do anymore. Taking into account the damage you can do. And then playing around that and then into them as a win condition is too difficult. So I've seen a lot of people use horrible teams, play horribly, and then complain about them. No, they're flawed, and complaining about them is valid, but they're so much better than some people think. Regardless, there's two things they can do. Okay, so first of all, they gotta fix the single target. Okay, now the thing is that they said is identified some unreasonable aspects regarding its overall usability. Now they're talking about the single target here still, but the reason they're saying this is because of the applies petrify on a target for one turn using one Wrath of the Fairy King effect to deal damage, right? You petrify when you have the effect. Now what I think they're gonna do is they're either gonna lower this number, which I don't think matters that much, but it's gonna help weaker counts for sure. So like that's good, right? Like I love the reason why they also performed that well for me is obviously my count, right? I'm not delusional, but lowering this so like weaker accounts and teams can hit this number easily would be better if they made it like 300k even, right? Now what I want them to do is that Wrath of the Earth is applied to enemies, and then when they hit 400k they get you get the Wrath of the Fairy King effect. I think the Wrath of the Fairy King effect should do something else. I think instead of just giving them 7% attack rate stats, which they thought we're gonna get this to 5 like all the time. I feel like the 7% attack rate stats is nothing. Like this is not an effect that you just get to like 5 like casually, right? Like you get it like to 5 if you're trolling and you're playing against like a team that lets you do this without losing, right? You don't really get to 5 like that ever. So it's not like this is a thing that's like a thing. Right, and they thought this is so crazy and so easy to get. They're like, okay, yeah, if you get hit, it also gets removed. I don't like this either. This feels bad. I've worked to do the 400k damage, and then it gets removed, and I can't get it again. And it doesn't apply on like backlines and stuff, which backlines are relevant because a lot of people don't even use like backlines anymore, right? Like you use the NANASHI backline if you're not worried about the mirror matchup, right? If you're just like daddling, you know, thinking, you're just like being brain dead. Otherwise, you'd use a real backline, and a lot of times, you know, not having the extra damage on them for the Wrath of the Earth, or not being able to get that extra petrify, is annoying. So the way this works, if they change this, which would work with a single target, right? This has to do with a single target. We actually be able to. Okay, so they're saying, okay, they worded it differently. Okay, yeah, so they're definitely doing some of the passive. Yeah, I think they need something that works going second. Maybe they even start with Wrath of the Fairy King. right, on turn 1. I think that's a possibility they could explore. They start with 1. And then also, the effect, the 7% attack rate stats, you can get rid of that, but make the damage taken be for the whole team, not just them. I think then they provide this like team protector ability, and that's big. Now, if I was able to add 1 line to their passive, then because it's Diane and King, right, and all of the stuff that they do, the 400k, right, the protection, the petrification, the healing, the single target at lowest ult gauge, it's all stuff that they both do, right? The same way Meli Liz is just Trainer Meli and Queen Liz, and a lot of the stuff they do is what both these characters do, right? The revive, the shield. Well, the Meli stuff is just damage, to be fair. He doesn't really do anything that's like specific to Meli, but it's big damage, you know. Right, like that's the whole point of doing it. I think one thing they're missing, which is the most like this is Chad King, is the shield, right? They have the ability where the shield pops up and heals them, but that's like healing technically isn't this guy's thing. But they can just do another shield for the ability, right? So I get it for the talent. But if they just make it like the Green King, where the start of battle applies shield to protect the allies, and then shield like buffs them as well, then I think that would be great. Or maybe they, well, that would be silly. Yeah, that would be silly. But if they just make it so that's their Chat King, they get a Chat King shield. That's all, right? I just think then it's then, I mean, honestly, they can do nothing with the entire unit. Just give them the Chat King thing, and I think they become the best unit, because then even the and fix if I didn't know this, the scaling of this is fixed, but it makes sense because this card doesn't do damage. This card does insane, like 2 million rank 1 on average if you just get the damage on the enemies first, right? So you do the double damage. This will do the most insane damage, right? But this is, I've only used it as a petrify. I've never even looked at this as like a damaging card. It never did any damage, right? I was in a video, I was complaining about it not doing damage. I said what would have been nice is if they made a double crit chance, because not critting always feels bad in Grand Cross now, right? So, but yeah, regardless, if they, at least they're gonna fix it, whatever it was. I expect us to do way more damage now though, because the 20% of the remaining HP, they have good HP related stats. Especially the team I used, they have good HP on, like up to 800k or something. So like this is, you know, I'd like this. Double PS increase also is like useless. I hope they realize this and they just make it triple. Look, yep. But yeah, the whole losing, what they need to remove. Let's do this. Okay. Okay, let's just do this, and then okay, we do this goes to 300k. Okay, this gets removed, right? Because that's stupid. This team wide, and this, I mean, this is all fine, I think. Other than this, this could, I would say, this could also be 20%, like Giant Queen's protection. What, you're protecting yourself, not the team with this. Right? I feel like this could be put on everyone, but then that might be a bit too much. Does they mean to petrify? Right, I feel like as well designed as this unit is, and as much as I love them, and I still think they're broken, there is a lot of things in the kit, and I was thinking this like all like before they announced this, don't worry, where I'm like they didn't quite know how to handle it, so they just slapped like abandoned it. They're like, okay, wait, we don't want Diane to be like a go first, you know, you petrify the other Diane and the next turn you kill them and they can't do anything, so we're gonna make them immune to petrify. Also, we think this is really easy to get because we've tried it against training dummies, and yeah, so we're gonna make it that you get it removed outside of using it for a single target. Yeah, like I don't know, I feel like if it doesn't get removed, the damage reduction is too much, right? But then also, like, I guess you can do like 25%. If this gets through, then you can make it like 25% DR. Like you can lower it by a lot, I think, at that point, because you get 3 stacks I was like, okay, 75% DR, that's pretty good, right? Because you also have this. When someone's petrified, this team doesn't take damage, to be fair, right? But yeah, I think this is all they need to do, and then fix the scaling, and that's it. I think this is fine, right? Like, I think this is fine. Actually, I can do the marker. Let's do the marker. And this is so horrible, but let's do the marker, right? This is fine. Yeah, there you go. That's fine. And hey, this is fine. Don't touch these two things. Oh yeah, well, don't. Yeah, these three. This is fine. The rest, they're gonna have to adjust somewhat to make them easier to use, to make them smoother to use, right? Less hiccups, less like, oh, I didn't hit the 400k, so now my single target doesn't do damage and it doesn't petrify, and it doesn't lower ult gauge. Yeah, card wise, I don't think they change anything. I mean, I triple pierce, double crit chance, something, I don't know. I think this is the card that should have gotten the 6% attack when using the skill. Like, it's super nice with them as well, but I think this one, it fits more. Ult scaling wise, I don't think it needs anything. Attack rate stats increase. Huh? They don't get one. I think I know what they mean, but like, there's no way I've just spotted 2 typos on the because they're talking about the damage dealt here, and it's 50. That's not attack related. That's damage dealt. They're so silly. Regardless, speaking of global hiccups, I don't know if I mentioned this. They said Thursday, May 28th, which is the 29th, but JP got it right. So I don't know if I mentioned this because I had to re-record this video because I was going on a tangent about something else for too long. But yeah, they're getting buffed. Let me know what you think. I'm gonna cut it here. Ciao.